Welcome to Ramblings from the Little Shed, the coziest corner in the creative world, where art, literature, and our beloved animal companions come together in conversation. Join Rogan and I in the Little Shed, a space where ideas flow freely and creativity thrives, as we explore the profound ways animals influence and inspire our creative lives. Whether you're a writer crafting your next novel, a painter finding inspiration in nature, or simply someone who believes their best work happens with a dog at their feet or a cat on their lap, this podcast is for you. On today's episode, we have Mitzi. Mitzi is an avid advocate for holistic well-being and the host of the Mitzi Let's Think About It podcast. Mitzi is also a self-published author of 4 children's books. She firmly believes that by encouraging children to think differently and more consciously, we can steer the future towards a positive trajectory. She is a strong advocate for the power of our thoughts and the words we choose, as they ultimately shape our lives. Welcome, everyone. This is Holly from Ramblings from the Little Shed with my co-host, Rogan.
Hello, hello.
And tonight we have Mitzi in the house, and we're super duper excited to have a chat. Mitzi, how are you doing today?
I am doing very well. I love busy days, so I am happy about today.
Good. Well, for Tuesday, or is it Monday?
Monday.
Yeah, no,
Monday.
it's Monday.
Well, don't get
My
ahead of
goodness.
yourself.
Oh boy.
Right?
I wish.
I have been in class since Saturday, and I'm working as well. So I think I'm looking forward to Tuesday because it's our day off of school. So that's why I'm already foreshadowing.
Right, you're already in tomorrow.
Oh my goodness. So Mitzi, we had a wonderful conversation on your podcast, Let's Think About It podcast. And we just, we knew we had to keep going. So here we are. And as you know, this podcast is all about sharing our love for our pets, our animals, our fur companions. And I'm hoping that we can just jump right in and you can tell us all about who is with you at your home. I think it's a dog, but
Yeah, that's why I love this podcast because it's about animals and it's been something very specific because I love animals. I'm pro animals. I've been having pets all my life. And right now in my home, I have a dog, I have a cat, and a couple fishes. So for me, I am pro pets. I'm even thinking about even possibly getting a bird, but we're not there yet. You know what I mean? It's in the air, but
Oh,
it's not official yet.
have you thought to? Sorry, I got excited by the bird. Any thought to what kind of bird? I'm not familiar with many myself, but I would love to know if you have an idea.
Yeah, I love talking birds or like those are my go-to birds because when I was younger, I used to have 2 macaws and they were like the cutest things ever. And then my husband's coworker is thinking about giving away his cockatoo. And because when he came over to his house to visit and to hang out, his cockatoo loved him and just was having a good time and he was like this bird doesn't do that with anybody. And then he was just like, "Well, my wife loves animals and animals like attract to her. So, I mean, if you ever do think about it, we'll love to have it." So it's like it's in the air. Like I don't know if he's officially gonna give us the cockatoo yet, but I know for sure if I were to get a bird, I would want one of those big ones, the ones that talk, the ones that have personality, not the little tiny little ones because they're so tiny, my cat will try to eat it. You know what I mean? Or my kids will kill it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I need
yeah,
something that's sturdy. So yeah.
well, that's where I was going with that because you'd have the full circle. You have the dog chasing the cat chasing the bird, and the bird going after the fish. So it's a whole
oh,
cartoon there, right?
Exactly, it really is. It's my next children's book, right?
Awesome. Yes, and you have 4, and we are going to get to that because you are the awesome human. But first, we talk about the pets. So, would you say that is there one of those pets that is more? How should I put this? Does
are you
one of
trying
them?
to ask if there's a favorite? You know you can't ask that.
No, no, no. But what I want to ask is there one in particular that you think influences your creativity, or all of them?
Ooh, to be honest, my dogs do. Because I used to have a dog before this dog, and that dog inspired my books. And that dog, like, he was so I don't know, my family considered him to be really bougie and prissy because he didn't like men, you know what I mean? So, sorry for all the men out there that's listening and for you, Rogan, but he was very particular when it came to men. He was very shy and very timid, but women he was fine with. And my mom always used to joke around saying that this dog was meant to be with lesbians or something because he just did not want to be around men. And he was a Shar Pei. He was a Chinese Shar Pei. He was beige. He was wrinkly and the cutest little fluffy thing. And just the cuteness of how he was and how timid and how particular he was, like his little quirks and the little things that he did and didn't do, because he didn't like peanut butter. He didn't like the normal things that other dogs do. And for that, it made me want to write my books about him. And then for that, it inspired me to wonder like if he could talk, how would he have what would be his accent? And my sister would always say that his accent would probably be some British man and you know what I mean? Very top tier level. But I just think dogs are really interesting because they have that sense of personality that if you really pay attention, you can catch right away.
Absolutely. What was his name?
Ontario.
I
Ontario?
love that.
Yeah, I
That's
know,
the
right?
province we live in.
I
Oh
know,
my
isn't that
gosh.
crazy?
I just love that. So, you wrote children's books, but they were influenced by Ontario.
Yes,
And
it
can
was.
you just can you tell us more about that? Was he with you when you wrote them? Was he in the book? Was he all of it? Give us all the details.
Yeah, yeah. So, my dog loves eggs was inspired by Ontario because he loved eggs. He knew when I was pulling the egg carton out of the refrigerator, he can smell it. No matter how I cooked it, he was ready to receive some type of eggs in any way, shape, or form, raw or cooked or whatever. And I thought it was the cutest thing ever. So that's why I wrote the book. My dog loves eggs because it's about a dog doing all of these quirky things to get his eggs. He cleans up his toys. He tidies up. You know what I mean. He dances. He rolls. He does all these things to make sure he gets his eggs. And the little girl in the book, she makes his eggs scrambled, boiled, poached, all these different ways that she can make eggs. And I had to Google how many different ways he can make eggs. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't for sure because it's really interesting how he was because man, he just knew when the eggs were coming, he had to have some eggs.
Wow.
You're
That's
describing me. I will dance for eggs. I will do anything.
it
It's
truly
funny
is,
how
Mitzi.
dogs yeah, how dogs pick up these little things and how they just know sometimes.
Right, they really do. I mean, I know that you guys have some dogs. I mean, do you guys get inspired by your dogs? Can I ask questions? Is that a thing?
Absolutely. I mean, me not wanting to talk about my dogs, but Rogan maybe wants to say a word on this because he doesn't live at home anymore. So, what do you think,
Yeah. No,
Rogan?
the only word that I have to say on this is sad. No, I
Yeah.
love coming home. Well, I love visiting my mom, of course, but I'm immediately going to the dogs when I get home. I miss them very much. And I do miss having them around when I'm in a funk or just trying to get stuff done and just in need of that like, friendly presence in my
Yeah.
life. So I miss that a lot. But I get home pretty often. So not
Yeah.
currently, but hopefully in the future I'll have that again where I am now.
You know, Mitzi, how your dog, Ontario, has that quirkiness for eggs. I've never shared this, and I don't know if people are going to think this is strange or if they can relate. But Sully, one of our two dogs, he's very timid. He doesn't come close, that sort of thing, except for when my hair is freshly washed.
Oh, this.
And this is not just me, it's anyone who has freshly washed their hair. And if you, I discovered it because I sort of knelt down one time when I just got out of the shower, and he was in my hair like it was a bag of treats. Like I just can't even explain. He nuzzles in there, and it's like he's trying to, get himself all over my hair or get my hair all over him. I don't know. And so that is Sully's quirky trait.
That is so funny. Oh my goodness, but that's cute, but weird, but cute. You know what
I
I mean? Like
know.
it's cute because it's like, "Oh, how cute you're sniffing me," but weird because it's like you don't want to sniff me if it's dirty hair. I mean, is that how I know when I'm dirty?
maybe
Well,
maybe
maybe we
Sully
could
has a
call. Yeah, maybe he's bougie. I don't know.
yeah.
Right? Right? That's true. That's how it be because man, I
Yeah.
swear these dogs, they have like a sense. They know what they like and what they don't like because my dog now that I have, his name is Renzo, and he's a pit bull, and he just needs loving all the time. Like
Oh.
my Ontario didn't need loving as much as Renzo does. Renzo, oh my goodness, he needs loving every moment, every day, snuggle, snuggle, like sniff you up, and then he likes to play tug of war and he likes to play fetch and he's so active and I'm sometimes lazy, you know what I mean? So sometimes I'm just like, I don't need all that loving. I don't need all that playing. I just want bare minimums right now. You know what I mean? You get
Yeah.
in those moods, but yeah, sometimes he most definitely keeps me going.
So I have to ask, we're talking about Ontario in the past. So
Mhm.
how long ago did he leave?
Um, about a year and 2 months now.
Okay, still fresh.
He Oh my goodness, I think this is the first time that I probably talked about him without
Mm.
actually crying,
Okay.
because, it's so hard, like, I had him for over 4 years. I rescued him from, a kennel that was abusing him and mistreating him, and it was just like, you know what I mean? He was like my heart, like, we went through things together, and he was there for me, and I was there for him, and then one morning, like, I woke up to do my normal, like, take him out to go to the bathroom before the house wakes up, before my boys wakes up, and he did not wake up. He did not move.
Mm.
He was just there, still as can be, and I was just
Oh,
like, and it broke my heart because it's like, man, I gave him a kiss that night and I said, "Go to bed. It's gonna be okay. I'll see you in the morning. I love you." And I gave him a kiss, and it's like I didn't
mm,
see him in the morning. You know what I mean? He just
Mhm.
uh-huh.
drifted off into sleep. But I like to joke around with my husband and say that he chased a squirrel in his dream and then never came back. You know what I mean? Like I kept it cute. But it's
Yeah.
funny because my husband always joked around saying that he would sing him a song, um, from Coldplay, the "You're a Star." I think
Mhm.
it's from Coldplay, yeah.
Yep.
That "You're a star, blah, blah, blah," whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know how the words, but he always promised that if he were to pass away, he would sing him that song, and when he woke up and I finally told him that, like, Ontario didn't wake up, Ontario's dead, and he's still
Mhm.
upstairs in the room. I just haven't moved him, I haven't touched him. I'm waiting for you. And then he's like, okay. So he goes upstairs, we grab a garbage bag, and he just starts singing that song holding him. And I didn't bawl out until he started singing that song, and I was just crying. So every time I hear that song now, I get a little teary eye and I think of my little Ontario because, that's your baby.
Well, of course, that is such a beautiful story, and I know we don't like to talk about death but he got to be at home, which
Yeah.
is a whole other gift in itself, I think.
Yeah, and I think that's the most peaceful way to die is in your sleep, you know what
Yes.
I mean? I feel like
Mhm.
that's the best way to die. If somebody
Yep.
were to die in your sleep is the best way so you're not suffering, it's not traumatic, you're not, oh my goodness, the way people are dying now, they're burning in cars, they're getting crushed, they're getting
Mm.
Mhm.
pinned, they're like
Mhm.
all these different things, and it's just like to die in your sleep is one thing that I wish I could do. You know what I mean? Like if
Uh-huh.
that's my
Mhm.
Mhm.
way I could die and sign up for, that's one way I would sign up
That's it.
for.
Yeah.
Chasing
Mhm.
a squirrel. I know. I genuinely do love that. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that is. So, will Renzo be making an appearance in book 5?
I don't know, maybe. I'm thinking about it. I kinda took a pause because my initial plan for Ontario series was to have, like, a 3-book series on him, but then once he died, I kinda, like, it took a pause on it, but then I'm thinking maybe instead of doing Ontario, I could just do Renzo instead, but then,
Mhm.
why stop Ontario when he still holds a place in my heart that, you know what I mean, that would never go away because sometimes I look at Renzo and I'm just like, I wanna call him Ontario sometimes because some of the things he does do kinda, like, reminds me of
Yeah.
him,
Yeah.
and so it's just, like, sometimes I have to catch myself, so it's just, like, it just shows that the personality is still kinda similar, but I think maybe I could do, like, a combo and just have 2 dogs in one story, you know what I mean?
Maybe Ontario is gonna visit Renzo from the other side.
Oh, that's right. That's a good one. I gotta write that down.
Right? And with the whole chasing, you'll have the cat, the birds, the fish. Oh my goodness, there's books upon books that are coming.
Right? Exactly.
Well, Mitzi, can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what is your creative process? We know it's writing books, but I'm sure there's so much more, and we just want to know more about you.
Yeah, my creative process
Mm-hmm.
is basically taking the what ifs of life and twisting it. You know what I mean? And just seeing something and just thinking, what if this happened instead? What if this could happen? You know what I mean? Like, what if we didn't have an ozone layer that was. You know what I mean? That covered us. What happened if it was an ozone layer that we can kind of cover us but still see through? And wouldn't it be still be so amazing to actually see the stars during the daytime? You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
see the other planets that are around us. Like it's just that what if and allowing my imagination to take fold because I think it always started when I was really younger. I didn't really have a good childhood. So I always played with the what if, what if, what if, what if, what if factor. And because I played with the what ifs, I made me now as an adult made me appreciate my childhood because that was where it started. You know what I mean? Like people don't realize like you could have a bad childhood, but you could still find the diamond in the dirt. You know what I mean? You could still find the beauty that comes from the ugly. And unless we allow ourselves to shift our perspective in that manner, then we're never going to really see our past in any type of way than what it is in the past. You know what I mean? It made
right.
us who we are in our future. So for my creative process when I'm writing, I have to just vomit it all out. You're like, I have to just
Mhm.
write it all out, let it all go, and then I will eventually clean it up, organize it into an outline, and then organize it into an actual book, into a manuscript, and then get it there because I think just getting out the ideas is the best part because we can get stuck in our mind and then forget it. You know what I mean? So
Oh,
many
right.
great
Mhm.
ideas are in our mind, but they never actually get out of there or we forget about it. And then it's like, what are we going to do with it? Nothing because it's not out.
Do you find yourself driving or walking or shopping for groceries and all of a sudden an idea comes to you and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to pin this one down? Like, does that ever happen to you?
All the time.
Okay.
All the time. I have, like, a little notes on my phone that I just would randomly write ideas, or I would send my husband random texts about random ideas, and he's like, "What is this?" I'm like, "Just save it. Just save it. Just don't even touch it. Don't even worry about it.
Don't
Just I'll
question
look."
it.
Exactly. Don't question my genius. Like,
I love that. Don't
so
question my
It'll make
genius.
sense soon.
Yeah, Rogan knows all about that because he also receives random texts from his mother. And
I
yeah,
don't
whether
question it.
sometimes it's about a contest, but sometimes it's an idea.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly. Those
yeah.
ideas that they come out and work. So it's just something that you kind of have to like go with the flow and just make it happen. Or like if I'm actually driving and I can't like actually write it down, I would repeat it in my head over and over and over and over again, and then I would have to write it down as soon as I stop. Like,
Yeah. And I'll do that to myself before I go to sleep at night. Sometimes I'll tell myself stories, which is, I know, a little odd, but
no,
I'll
it's
just
not odd.
repeat the story. Or if I do think of something for a scene, I repeat it, just like you said, over and
Mm-hmm.
over, hoping. And if it stuck with me through the night, then I guess it was meant to be.
Mhm.
Right? Like, I
Yeah.
even had a time where, like, you know, when you're about to go to sleep and you do whatever that you need to do to go to sleep, and then all of a sudden you get a great idea. I would literally wake up
Mhm.
and go to my office and start writing things down. And, like, my husband looked at me like, "What are you doing? You were like dead asleep for like a good 15, 20 minutes. Why are you up?" He's like, "I have an idea. I have to write this down. Don't bother me."
I love that feeling because it's like, yes, idea, but also like it seems like the best ones always come when you're like right about to fall asleep and you're like, okay, I got to get up and do this. And it's great. But for me, it always happens at sleep. And I always end up going to bed like an hour later because like finally, like the day's over, my mind can clear. And then it all
Yes.
comes at once and I'm like, dang it. Let's
Exactly.
get up.
You gotta let your genius out. You gotta let it
Mhm.
go.
And
I
sometimes
wanna
sometimes I'll something will come to me and I'm like, you know what? Like this is good enough that I will remember it in the next like in the morning. Gone. No idea what happened.
Right?
That's
Don't
happened
you
a few
hate
times.
that? Oh
Yeah.
man, it makes me so mad. I was just like, you were right on my fingers. It's like when you have dreams that you're eating like eating something really good and then you actually take a bite and then it's emptiness and you wake up like, well, that's disappointing.
yeah. Well, Mitzi, I want to come back to something that you said, and it's in your creativity, your creative side of what ifs. Because so often, and I'm guilty of it too, I will say, well, what if that doesn't work? We always go to the negative side. But what you're doing is you're taking it and flipping that on its head and saying, no, what if it works? What if I'm
Yeah.
successful? What if, this book is a great hit or whatever the case may be? And so I think that we need to encourage people to do more of that. And I know in your podcast, you are a positivity pusher, like true, authentic, finding the good in people and spreading that word because as we know, we need a whole lot more of that. So
Mhm.
what if it all works out? I that is yeah, love it.
Oh, I think the what really holds me to that side is that it's not a race. You know what I mean?
Oh,
A lot of the times people have this race mentality where it's like, "Oh, this book has to be good in the next 3 months or if it's a failure." But that's not true. There's no such thing as failure. There's really no such thing as failure. It's just learning. It's a learning opportunity. It's a feedback opportunity. It's a way to reconstruct your frame of mind and see things differently because even if I have a book that's not successful per whoever's eyes, it's still successful for me because it's out there in the world and it's something that I never thought would be possible. And the fact that it's just out there and it could help one single soul at whatever given time that they happen to pick that book up or buy it or read it or whenever, that's my success. That's when I experience success because that's when it matters to me. It doesn't matter what time it is, it matters that it just happens in that moment. And I look for moments. I don't look for the quotas, the statistics, the oh, where am I at the and in the ranking field or
mhm.
anything like that because when I just published my last book, my sister was like, "Oh, I love it so much. I bet you it's gonna be this and this and this. Do you know where your rank is?" And I was like, "Ooh, hold on a second here. I don't do that because I don't feed my ego in that manner because I could hurt myself in such a manner that'll
Mhm.
make me quit. You know what I mean? And I don't want to quit. And I'm not trying to do this for shiny lights or for whatever else that people want to make it seem like. I'm doing it for my heart. I'm doing it because I know that it's going to help people think. I know it's going to help people change. I know it's going to help in one way or another. And if it's not today, that's fine. But in the tomorrow, in the future, I will be there. You know what I mean? And that's one thing that I did a speaking engagement in December in Chicago, and one of the things that I said was like, when you are a writer, this is our way of immortalizing our lives. This is
Mhm.
our way to truly expand ourselves in a manner that we never know how, because you can have this book now that's just published in this year, but by the time you're dead, somebody can pick it up and there goes your life again, revived. That's when you become all over again because they can experience your love, experience your pain, experience your happiness, experience your sorrows, experience and feel heard, feel seen, feel alive all over again, knowing that there's somebody out there that experienced your the same thing. Because we live in our minds so much and we believe that we're going through this life all alone and nobody understands and nobody this, nobody that. And it's like in reality, we are really experiencing the life the same way. We are all in pain, we're all suffering, we're all in love, we're all happy, we're all going through the ins and outs of life, but that's living. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's existing. And
Yeah.
when we start to unite in that manner, then we'll realize that humanity is so greater than what we actually know. So it's just like for me, it's just like that what if keeps me going because it's like, yeah, I can go on the negative side of the spectrum and go down that dark alley of death, but it's like why do I need to? When death comes for me, well then I'll be ready whenever that time is, but I might as well make the most of it while I'm still alive, right?
Mhm. Oh,
Ye
incredible. Yeah, and there's no
yeah.
better way to feel that connection than through, an author's work or an artist's painting, anything, just because, like, you don't I feel like you don't really well, not always, but sometimes you can't really feel or see that connection until you
Yeah.
see yourself in that story or in that
Yeah.
idea that's just been put onto paper, and it's just when you get that, one of the best feelings ever, and so that's why I just
Absolutely.
love art, fiction, anything, whatever, yeah.
Yeah. It connects the soul, like, even music, you don't even need words sometimes, you just
Oh,
need to hear the instruments, the instrumentals, like, tech, whatever that you're into, jazz, I mean, it doesn't matter, just listening to that melody, ooh, it could just tie you in and wrap you up and give you a hug without you even realizing it.
No, I nothing brings me to tears like music. I didn't
Mm.
mention music. It's like one of the most
Shame on
important things
you.
in my life. I know. I don't know where my brain went. Like it's incredible. Yeah. And like there's nothing this is kind of different, but like nothing in life that makes me like can bring me back to a moment in time or a place other than
Yeah.
music.
Mhm.
Like whether it be like a song or like soundtracks. I play a lot of games.
Okay.
It's just crazy how powerful it can be. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's just this way of nostalgia without realizing. It's like when you get a scent somewhere and then it brings you right back to that childhood, right back to
Mm,
that vacation, right back to like the same way with music. It's like it brings you right back to that moment and it's a beautiful thing that we kind of take for granted.
Yeah, it's
mhm.
instantaneous, right?
Yeah.
I had to
Yeah.
just take a deep breath there because I thought, wow, listening to you, well, we could do that all night. I feel like a nonfiction book is being written in your lifetime because you are so insightful and, as I said before, so well spoken. And my goodness, anyone would be privileged to listen to you speak. Are you traditionally published or indie published?
I'm
Like,
indie. I did the
okay.
self-publishing route for my children's book. I am debating and thinking if I should do the traditional publishing when it comes to my novel that I'm currently on the works of finishing because I think it'll be easier to get the traditional publishing to do the editing and to do all that other stuff. But at the same time, I do lose a lot when I come to traditional publishing as well. So it's just like it's
Mhm,
that give and take situation that
mhm.
I'm still debating with. But no offense to anybody who's doing the traditional
Nope,
publishing route,
not
you
at
know what I
all.
mean? None like that. Do whatever that works for you, but, I'm still up in the air.
The reason I ask is because this week I'm in a residency program for my MFA, and the entire semester is circling around publishing. And so
Mm.
for 5 hours this afternoon, I listened to, publishers from New York, agents, editors, and there would be moments where I'd be super encouraged, and then I would crash. And it
Mm.
was this ongoing cycle for hours today, just listening to the pros and cons and, should I, shouldn't I? It is overwhelming, to say the least,
It
but
is overwhelming and
it
it's
is.
paralyzing. I mean, to be honest, and that's the reason why I decided to do the self-publishing route because it's like to go down that tedious route with my children's book and to have somebody to tell me it's not valuable, it's not worth it, it won't hold
Mhm,
no merit in this industry.
mhm,
That can take like that's like a sucker punch, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's why I think it goes back to what I said earlier. It's just like I'm not doing it for everybody. I'm doing it for those specific people. I'm doing it for the future. I'm doing it for those future children. I'm doing it for whoever that is going to take that time at that moment. And that's where I think self publishing gives you that opportunity to do it for not for popularity, but do it because it knows that if you were to die tomorrow, you know that you have work out there. You have something under your belt besides your name. You know what I mean? It gives you
mhm.
something more than just your name to leave on this earth and more than just your character. And I think that's something that no one can really take away from you when it comes to self-publishing is that I see the value in my work no matter what.
I
Mhm.
agree. There was an agent on the line. He was from New York. His name was Alec. I won't say his last name, but because I don't remember it. But he did say something that really resonated with me, and it was similar to what you're saying, Mitzi, that he he looks for people who are in love with their stories and it shows through their storytelling. And that, it could be maybe a different genre than he necessarily would promote, but if he sees the passion and if he sees you shine through the story, he's interested. I mean, he may or may not sign, but he said, and I thought, oh, okay, if I could get an Alec in my author career, maybe. But I'm all for the self-publishing. That's where I'm headed myself. And what you said about the ranking, that it's kind of where we're at with this podcast. I mean, I've had people saying, where do you rank and what are your analytics? I'm like, I don't even know where to find those. We're just doing this because we enjoy it, because we
Yeah.
get to have moments like these with people like you. So thank you for saying that. And I think that we need to live with that notion far more than looking for ranks and how many follows you have, how many likes you have, but just have good conversations.
Exactly. Oh my goodness, exactly. And I realized, and I said this to with another lady that who has another podcast and who's been a guest on my podcast, and we talked about how real it is when people come onto the show and they ask for for the stats and ask for the
Mhm,
rankings and all that stuff. I'm like, are you here because you really want to have
Mhm.
your voice heard, or are you and have a real conversation, or are you here just to show face? Because if you're just trying to show face and look pretty and just be on another podcast just to write it under your belt, then that's not where I'm at. Like, I'm here because I want to have real conversations. I'm here because I want to make a difference, even if it's an echo in the forest. And
mhm,
that's one thing that somebody, when I first started my podcast, he was like, Mitzi, if a tree is talking in the forest and nobody hears it, is it really talking? And I was like, yes, yes, it is. You know why? Because the trees around it are listening. And once the trees around it are listening and they hear the voice of that one single tree talking, that inspires them to start talking. And then before you know it, it becomes another ring of trees talking, and then another ring, and then another ring. And then you have a ripple effect. And it's all because of that one single tree that didn't think that it was heard, but it was actually being heard in silence. And then it goes back to what we were talking about on our episode, how we have silent fans and how there are people rooting us on, cheering us on, seeing our successes, seeing our strive to our determination to reach something that seems impossible. I mean, come on,
mhm.
we're doing podcasting out of billions of people who are doing podcasting. You know what I mean? There's billions
Mhm.
of podcasters out there, but yet we're still going forward. We're still making the effort. We're still showing that we're going to show up and put our heart into it, no matter if I get one download or 20 downloads. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
that's where it comes down to, is like, why are you really doing this? To make a difference or just for the numbers? And I think that's where a lot of people have to come into, where's your intentions when it comes to your podcasting, when it comes to anything that you step into in the world, where are your intentions, you know?
Mhm.
Long
'Cause
term, those
yeah,
intentions are going to show. That's
Exactly.
just how it is.
Mhm.
just gotta
Yeah.
stick with it. And I wanna know
Mhm.
all about the Renzos, the Ontarios, and the Mitzies, so that's why I'm here. And
It's just a blast to hear from so many
yeah.
creatives and just hear about what inspires them, what they work on. I am trying to be more creative in my life, and so it really is just inspiring to hear about all this. And also,
Mhm.
I need to, like, hear what you have to say every morning in my life because you are so inspiring and, like, affirming, like, I need more of this in my life to remember why this is important and who you were doing this for, yourself, but also even if it's just one other person, like you said. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, it's great.
It changes you.
Mhm.
So, Mitzi, before we, wrap this up for this episode, what's next for you? You have a busy life, you work, you do all the things, but is there something that you're focusing on? Is it that 5th book, or are you just is that on hiatus for now and you're looking into I know you have your podcast as well, so
Yeah, I'm actually trying to finish my novel. That's been my goal. That's when I've been trying to get it done, and this is the year. My husband was like, "Mitzi, I don't want to keep hearing that this is the year." So it's just like, "This is my last year. I promise 2026." Boom, boom, boom. So then I did my calculations to see how many like chapters I have left and how many things I have to do. And I'm literally down the hill. You know what I mean? I'm down the
Mhm,
hill and it's only January. So if I'm down the hill and I can really time crunch and budget in my time correctly, I think I could truly have it done and ready come the summertime and start figuring out if I should dabble into the traditional publishing or how much money I have saved up to actually do the self-publishing route, because that's the thing, the self-publishing route is very expensive. You know what I mean? That's
Mhm.
something that I'm not going to deny. It's
mhm,
very expensive. Yes, you can find cheap self-publishers. Yes, you can do it all on your own through Amazon, but there comes to a degree where you need to reach out and you kind of have to expand out and branch out with other people. But at the same time, it's just like walk crossing that bridge. So
mhm.
my goal is summertime to cross that bridge and really make it happen and have this novel out into the world and then work on my other novels, because what I was doing is my old iPad crashed just because stupid Apple. You know how like Apple after a certain generation they stop allowing it to be updated and you're forced to buy another Apple. Like it's good technology. It works well. Just allow it to update. There's no cracks, there's no nothing. It's still framed. It's like it has plenty of memories, plenty of battery. You know what I
Girl, I
mean.
know.
You know what I mean. So the fact that I had to get a new iPad and not everything transferred over, I was just like, okay, let me go through everything and see what I can do. And I was going through all of my old ideas. You know what I mean? All of my old like ideas of books. And I didn't even realize I had like a 3-series novel already in the works. And I never even realized that I already had like majority of it all done. And I was just
Wow.
like, oh my goodness, I can work on this novel after I finish this one. And I got so inspired again. Like I even told my mom, I was like, Mommy, you can help me finish. We can collaborate together on this novel because she keeps on
Mhm.
talking about being an author, but she's tiptoeing in her feet because she's scared of the
Mm.
judgment. She's scared of the ridicule. And I get it. You're part of that generation that's, oh, how are people going to look at me? Whoa, whoa, whoa. And it's just like, I don't care what people say. I don't care what
Mhm.
people think. I don't care because at the end of the day, the walls that I'm in don't hear everything that's said outside of me. So what does
Yeah.
it matter what people say? So for me, I'm like, if you think about it, think about it. But I'm still gonna do it. So my goal is I have a 3-series one that is so good. Oh my goodness, it's so juicy and so good that I can't wait to start and finish that one after this novel. So that's my goal. But to be honest with you, my lifelong goal is
Mhm.
to have 100 children's books and 100 novels published. That's my lifelong goal. So when I'm
Woo.
old, viejita, old lady, I want to have those 200 books out.
Well, we
I believe.
support you. Yep,
Yeah.
we are here. And Rogan, doesn't that sound familiar that
I was just gonna say,
this
yeah.
mother is trying to get this son to collaborate. So, Mitzi, tell him
I'm
to do
Oh.
just
it.
I'm just waiting for the right like idea, the right prompt, the right like conceit of the
And you
yeah,
don't
yeah,
have
yeah.
ideas? You don't have
Yeah, we
ideas, Mr.
Brain
Two
empty.
Cups? You have 2 cups over there. I've been watching you, and you've been drinking 2 mugs, 2 different fluids,
Got the
and you
coffee one.
can't I know! You can have 2 different fluids, but you can't think of 2 different ideas. You need to, by the end of the year, come out with 10 ideas because you got good ideas too. I mean, if you play video games, how can you say you don't have imagination? You know what I'm saying? How can
That
you
is a good point.
not have imagination when you play video games? And I'm pretty sure that your video games are pretty creative and pretty crazy that it makes you think in a way that you can say, what if?
Mm.
Mitzi, he has plenty of ideas, and I've jotted them all down.
Mm,
They just need to
mm,
be
I think she believes in my
nudge.
ideas a bit more than me, which maybe I need to
uh-uh,
work on that myself.
uh-uh.
Well, why don't you believe in yourself then?
Oh, good question. It's a work in progress. We're getting there. We're getting there.
Hey,
Well,
Rogan,
you.
what if it all works out and we can write a book together? Mm.
Mm.
You know what? This conversation has made me want to try it a bit more. I won't lie.
Even if it's a short story, even if it's a children's book, you don't even have to go on a full-on novel. You could write a children's books, you could get creative. Just don't stop yourself. I believe every single soul on this earth has a book worthy enough to share with the world. So don't doubt
My
yourself,
goodness.
Rogan,
That's right.
with
You
your
Thank
2
listen
you.
to
cups.
Mitzi. She knows what she is talking about.
Mhm.
All right. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I am just so excited for 2026, and I'm going to be checking in on you, Mitzi, to see where you're at with your word count by, let's say, I'm going to check in on you in April, May.
Do
Me
it. Keep me
all
All
accountable.
right.
caps
I
text in
will.
like April, like, so
Yeah.
where you at?
Right,
From Molly.
exactly. And then I'll make sure Rogan gets emailed too. Where are
Yep.
you
Yep.
at,
Yeah.
Rogan?
There we go. There we go. Well,
Keep
this
each
is,
other accountable.
well,
Accountable.
that's what
That's
we
good to
have to
have
do.
sometimes. Like you were saying, it was your husband who's
Yeah.
yelling at you. Honestly, like
Mhm.
that is a
Yeah.
good external force when it's coming from a good place, of course.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, of course. And it's all positive, and that's what we're here for
Mhm.
as writers, as collaborators, as active creators. We keep each other not in check in a bad way, but in the best possible way, because these conversations are what spark the creativity and the dogs on our laps. So,
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm. Mhm.
Mitzi, it has
absolutely.
been an absolute privilege to have you. You are Gosh, I can't wait to go and listen to one of your talks one day in person.
Mm,
That's gonna happen one day.
right? I
Um,
believe it.
yeah, yeah, and I
I'm
wanna
coming
be the
along.
first to buy your book, and Rogan's coming with me, so please, yeah,
Rogan's better with your 2 cups too.
comes
Always.
by it honestly.
You
I
and your
get
2
yeah.
cups. Goodness, you both got 2 cups. Oh, it falls
Uh,
down the tree, right?
mhm.
Oh my
It really
goodness.
does.
All right, well, enjoy the rest of
Uh,
your week. Thank you for all the insight, and we can't wait to see what comes next for Mitzi.
Well, thank you so much, you guys.
All right,
Bye.
bye for now.
Thank you.